What's good? It's me, your boy, Frank Draws, big and back at it with another video. Today, I'm going to be drawing a car. I personally find drawing cars quite difficult. And I'm going to be drawing a cop car, because those guys, FTP, ACAB, all the rest. Rest in peace, George Floyd. And see if you can draw along. You know, you might learn something. I'm dropping some tips along the way. Peace.
Alright, so I'll link tools I use, the equipment I use in the description below. They're pretty inexpensive. So I'll start by doing this composition landscape, but it wouldn't have had space for the flames up top. So I erased it, don't be afraid to erase that if it's not working. So I'll draw an X in the middle of the cube, that's simplifying the form and define the middle, and then that'll help me with the rest. Add the wheels, add a little curve to the front and back. And then I start going in trying to add the roof. And at this point it's kind of looking like Lightning McQueen, or a Mustang. And I really don't want that. I want it to be a 4-door, not a 2-door. So I spent a while just looking at reference images, trying to find out what makes a 4-door car work, right? What makes it work. And funnily enough, it's the space at the back. So there you go, I open up the windows at the back. And I just start penciling it in, I go in, roughing it. I'm drawing from the elbow right now, not from the wrist. If you draw from the wrist, it constricts what you're drawing, which can be good for details, but when you're laying in the original form, it's not really what you want. You just want to get the basic shapes in it first. And overall, this thing took me like 2 hours, so, take your time with it. Don't gotta stress, work at your own pace, It's relaxing, it's therapeutic. It's got to be done, right? So now I've got something I'm happy with, and it looks pretty good, Start adding a few more details, and then once I'm done with the details with this pencil, I'll go in with a mechanical pencil, right? And you see that come up, and that just allows it to be like constantly sharp, always, sharpened. And here I see the drawing speak to me and goes, it's not gonna be cool if it's just, on 4 wheels that are working. So I take away one of the tires and then make it like spin robbed or something. And here I am with the mechanical pencil going in again, fixing it up, right? Tightening those lines, erasing and tightening those lines so I can still see them. And I'll use that technique again when I get to the inks, because the inks are the most crucial part, You mess those up, you can't erase it. So you gotta be pretty confident in what you're putting down. So don't be too hard, because otherwise the watercolor is not gonna flow properly. Here I am again, just adding in more of the details. I'm adding in details that weren't even there in my original sketch, because I'm working on my own time, basically. I'm my own boss in this world, Then there we go, the headlights. And I constantly am looking at reference, I'm not a slave to the reference, but I am looking at the reference to see how these cars look in the real world. And for my reference, it was a New York Police Department cop car. And I used a bunch of the actual old models and the new models to come up with something a bit more nostalgic than both, in my opinion at least. Because that's the only person I make my art for is me, basically. Then I'm going in trying to block out the letters, because I find that quite hard lettering. The roof, I widen up that space. The lines went straight. I have a problem with straightening my lines sometimes. Then adding in a base, a lighter line to see where the color goes. It'll erase easily, but I can see close up. And then I'm going off, maybe make some coffee or something, who knows. Doing some things off camera there, who knows what they are. Adding in the windows, the mirrors, sorry. the headlights, you know, constantly looking at reference, because I personally don't know what a cop car looks like off the top of my head. I know I think I do, but I don't actually know. Here I cracked open the door, you know, because the drawing speaks to you. It says, you know, I want this, what would it look like if this happened? You know, they don't always work, but it's good to do it to add visual interest, you know, make those things just pop. Adding in a brake to the kind of wheel, I really wouldn't know what to call that. Just making sure that's round, you know, doing really round shapes is quite hard sometimes. And it'll be even harder when the pens come out, because that has to be on point. But you know, it's all problem solving. You'll find a way to do it. You know, as you can see right now, don't be afraid to move the page to get the vantage point, you know, make it easier on yourself. Here I am breaking the windows, you know, probably the best part, just fucking that shit up. Excuse my French. Cracking the windshield, adding more details into the side. Separating the letters. Now this was hard, you know. I was like, should I do New York Police Department? No. You know, I'll do Power Trip Police Department. I think I came up with it at the end. But, you know, I'm still trying to space the letters. I find that quite hard. But typography. You know, I did study it for a while, but, you know. I mean, it looks alright, but it's not exactly the kind of font I want to. Kind of skewed, if you see. A bit bent, but, you know, end up erasing it anyway, so don't stress. There we go, a pencil in the flames. Very fun, you know, again, drawing from the elbow, keeping it loose, because you're not going to see the pencil in the final result, and I'm the only one who's going to see the pencil when I'm painting it, and that's kind of the key, is to not let, you know, it's like, just makes it look better. There you go, you know, I erased it again because I didn't like it. Again, I erased it because I didn't like it. There we go, I find a design that works, and I stick with it. Here we are, adding in some flames at the back windows, at the front window, at the side, you know, erase it all. And then I come in with the pens, and instantly that contrast just, you know, makes it pop. And a lot of time I leave my lines unfinished, and this is like a big thing, is because it forces the eye to connect the dots, right? And with that, it creates like engagement, basically. And the more you draw, the more, you know, you'll find ways to cover up your mistakes, you know. If you mess up a line, probably just make it thicker, you know. There I go again, Power Trip Police Department, to hurt, neglect, and disrespect. I was quite happy with that. When painting, just remember that your best friend is some toilet paper, you know. You can dab that on, and it's like an eraser. And whenever you're doing a big block of color, make sure you wet the paper first, like these flames. And I went up many passes over these flames. You know, add some smoke. I wanted that dirty fire, dirty smoke feel. And there you go.
And there we have it. Probably about 2.5 hours worth of drawing condensed into 10 minutes. I'd like to go more in depth on my painting and inking processes in another video. But here it is. What I do, I put it in Photoshop, scan it in, and I bump the contrast, which is a must for watercolor. And then added a background, catchy slogan. That's all you need. So, like, subscribe, all that other stuff. Peace.